2015 Acura RDX. Buy this. Buy this. It's a fantastic SUV, and I'm going to tell you why. Because originally, this car was for corpo no faces.
What do you got? You gonna go a red line? No, you're not. You go like 500 RPM before red line, it shifts out of manual mode and back into drive. Interesting.
I don't believe in trickle-down theory, but this car trickled down really well. Now here's the original guy who drove this. Hi, I am uncomfortably smiling at you. I smile when I talk. I have no butthole. And I'm your local Nevermax real estate agent. Climb into my 2015 Acura RDX. Welcome to the up-and-coming neighborhood of New Garbage, Pennsylvania. We're 4 hours from Philadelphia, 3 hours from Pittsburgh, 5 to 8 hours from New York City, depending on traffic. Know what I'm saying? Ha 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 ha, bada bing. This Acura RDX is perfect for a real estate agent like me, who represents property in a part of Pennsylvania where residents can't afford name brand political lawn signs. They make their own out of pallets, 55-gallon drums, and discarded excavator buckets. I want to look successful, but not give people the idea that I'm better than them. I had surgery on my butthole to prevent myself from farting. Watch me adjust my personality to whatever my client is like. I swallow Crest white strips.
Today's episode of Regular Car Reviews is sponsored by Factor. Thank you guys for sticking with Regular Car Reviews all these years. It means a lot. Factor are fresh, dietitian approved. They taste fantastic. And this one I have to take the sauce out. This is a Southwest style grain bowl. And it comes with this bowl of sauce that you're not supposed to microwave. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. I put them in for 3 because I like it hot. You can eat them out of the tray if you want, but I put a bowl. That was a good spin. Factor meals are fresh, never frozen, and they have lots of different options for you. Vegan, vegetarian, protein plus, keto friendly, and gourmet options as well, including, and I'm not kidding, filet mignon. They figured out a way to make filet mignon work in a microwave. And honestly, it tastes like what comes out of a restaurant. And now you can enjoy Factor meals using my coupon code REGULARFB50. Go to factor75.com and put in my coupon code REGULARFB50. That's free breakfast. You get free breakfast for a year. And you get 50% off your first Factor box. How cool is that? Now, while I'm eating, voiceover Brian has some important things he's supposed to say. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. I have an interview to get done after this ad read, so I've been running all over the place. Factor is a great way to get nutritious meals that are dietitian approved and the correct portion sizes when you're always running around the place. And now back to an expensive Prius, not a Prius.
The 2015 Acura RDX is a nondescript example of pre-pandemic corporate lifestyle. At the time of this review in 2026, the RDX is 11 years old. And when this car was new, a good portion of the public was getting by without smartphones, or ones with flip-open physical keyboards. Sure, the iPhone had existed since 2007, but automotive connectivity in 2015 was still hit or miss. Most of the world, myself included, still preferred the analog auxiliary jack to play music in our cars. As such, Acura, and all the manufacturers for that matter, took a good enough approach to mobile connectivity, and the multifunction display looks like it's running Windows XP in a Windows 7 world. There also wasn't an over-the-air maps update for the in-car navigation, so if there were road closures or infrastructure updates, you wouldn't know about. In-car navigation was a joke in the 20-teens. It would get confused, send you down dirt roads, suggest you make a right turn directly into the Schuylkill River, direct you away from Smoky Bones Barbecue and right into the musky groin of Down Low Dad's Mustache Bar and Haberdashery. But as incompatible as the multifunction display is, the RDX is still a relevant car in 2026 because of what's under the hood. Yeah, there it is. My favorite V6, the Eternal. everlasting, good-sounding, rev-happy, reliable, and powerful Honda J-Series. 3.5 liters, making 273 horsepower. Get out of my way! Okay, we're back in 2015 again. This is that guy again. I'm late to my big early meeting at the Comcast Tower. I'm doing 90 miles an hour on the off-ramp. The 76 is a blue route, or 76 blue route. I've got to get to Center City. Is it 76 or shorter? But if it's shorter, I could take 476. Or I could take the blue route is longer, but that's factor. Uh-oh. Conshohocken is coming up. I'm making a decision. I'm going to take 76 Schuylkill Expressway. Oh, fuck me. This can't be happening. I'm going to be late. This can't be happening. I just put on chapstick to suck the client's fishhook penis in JFK Plaza. Everybody needs to watch. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep it together. As long as I'm in the winning lane, it means I'm winning. I have a golf tee inserted down my urethra to keep my anxiety orgasms from staining my charcoal black chinos. This is the same engine that Honda uses in the Ridge line, the coveted Honda Accord 6MT, and others. Parts are easy to come by, if it ever needs anything apart from oil changes, spark plugs, the air cleaner, and belts. And there is some tuning knowledge out on the forums out there if you want more power. 300 crank horsepower is totally reasonable for the Mighty J, but since the J series was meant to be a naturally aspirated engine tuned to run off of 87 octane, the cheap stuff, all you can really do with laptop tuning is advance your ignition timing and ask the fuel injectors to splash more fuel. And only up the power of this engine a little bit because you will be getting close to the pressure limit of 87 octane. If you get too greedy, you will start engine knocking, pre-ignition. And then you'll have to run 93 octane to prevent that pre-ignition. If that's okay with you, then fine, do it. Push the J-Series past 300 horsepower, cool. But then you have to worry about the dinky transmission that's in this little SUV. It'll handle the J-Series stock, plus a little more, but above that, you might break something. And I know this because Honda only gave the RDX a tow rating of only 1,500 pounds. That's like an open grate utility trailer and one four-wheeler. The J-Series makes comparable power and torque to a 2-bolt main Chevy small block, so don't tell me it can't tow. Not that any smiling corpo clones towed anything when the RDX was new. This was a vehicle in which you laughed at your boss's jokes, even though you knew he got them from r/comedy. You like whatever teams your manager likes, and you have feigning excitement for office birthdays down to such a science that you can't even tell the difference yourself. Acura RDX, the SUV for professional men who get a motel room just for masturbating to F-Chan on a virtual machine. No one can know. No one can know. Oh, Luna, you're the perfect woman. Honda's fake chrome is flaking off. What is this? What's the point of this? They painted the plastic center console trim piece? Ugh. Painting plastic is something General Motors likes to do. Paint or whatever coating you feel like putting on plastic never holds up to abrasion. 100,000 miles of gloved hands and wedding rings and groceries and backpacks dragging across the center console as you lift them up and take them with you. A 2-story house with a 1-car garage and an Acura RDX. These are the glorious fruits of modest ambition. An Acura RDX is the car you get when you aspire to live nice rather than live large. Because if you really wanted to live like a person whose buildings get protested, then you'd probably buy from a luxury automaker who doesn't have a worse name recognition than its parent brand. Which is not to say that Acura isn't a world-renowned auto brand, not by any means. But out of the luxury options you could pick from, Acura feels like department store nice, rather than clothing store in the King of Prussia Mall whose name you can't pronounce. Then again, how nice is the Acura even supposed to be? This is luxury, yes, but it's luxury that can be plausibly attained. You don't have to take on a questionable side hustle to afford this. And that's still true even if you want the all-wheel drive model with the technology package. We looked up Acura's own press release from November of 2014, and that puts this model, the top of the line, at roughly $40,195 new. By now, that price is equivalent to about $55,000, which makes it a lot less attractive for what you ultimately get. But by the standards of 2015, it doesn't seem like an insane price, even if it probably isn't as nice as it could be. For something equipped with a technology package, you'd expect the actual technology to have less lag. But it was still that awkward puberty phase of smartphone connectivity, to where it worked, but it wasn't intuitive. It felt like a feature ramrodded onto the car at the 11th hour, as opposed to now, where companies seemingly have gone in the opposite direction entirely. Now it's software and connectivity first, and who cares if you actually enjoy driving the car? Because this is an enjoyable SUV to drive. That J-Series V6, it makes torque down low. I know I made fun of the guy weaving in and out of Philly traffic, but that's what you do with one of these things. It's just as fast, if not faster, than most modern machines. But there's got to be a better middle ground between driving a smartphone with wheels and something like this, where the voice command feature literally couldn't understand the word Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Nope. Philadelphia. Again. Philadelphia. I remember this from the 2000s. Philadelphia. Philly. Will it help if I put it on the letter P? Philadelphia. Go Birds, dickhead. P H I L. Wait, I don't understand this. P H I. Really? You're gonna go New Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Really? That shows up before Philadelphia. New Philadelphia. Right? Next to Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Multiple city names. Oh, okay. Real, Philadelphia. The Philadelphia. Not the other states putting a Philly. Thank you. After all that, current weather cloudy.
This might have been positioned as top trim, but it's business basic, like the internet plan for a small cafe. Acura RDX. It's a Honda CR-V that went to business school. This is the official car of the guy with one of those vague-sounding, dumb corporate roles where no one really knows what they do, but they get paid $700,000 a year to do it.
Everyone, meet Tyson. He is our new Senior Products and Development Director for Strategic Outreach. If you have any questions about cross-functional collaboration on our North Star metric, feel free to reach out. The Slack channel is always open.
Just look at this thing. If you told me the RDX had a LinkedIn profile, I'd believe you. Look, this RDX is lucky it has the J series, because if it didn't, it'd be the same level of disposability as one of those gym coupons that promise money for every friend you sign up. Acura RDX. A muted luxury package with momentary bursts of excitement. This car is vanilla thunder. Let's talk about this great engine again. Now, the J-Series wasn't exactly saved specifically for Acura, but from what we found, Acura got a higher tuned version. I mean, we just talked about tuning. There's lots of room in this engine. So the true engine designation is J35Z2. 273 horsepower at 6,200 RPM and 251 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. That beats out the 250 horsepower that the Honda Pilot Sport got from a J-Series. Not by much, but it's more. Another interesting point that it shares with other models under the Honda umbrella was the use of VCM, or variable cylinder management. I'm not really a fan of this. This deactivating cylinders, no. This is excessive wear on the engine. It doesn't need to be there. And for all that complexity, you get, 20 miles a gallon city, 28 highway, 23 combined. I would rather have I would rather have a simpler V6 than have a V6 that turns into a V4. But aside from that, it's a very refined car in some ways and weirdly low effort in others. They went through all the trouble of keeping the J35, but then cut back in other places, like ditching selectable all-wheel drive and going for a less expensive all-wheel drive handling system to save money. Now, in Honda's defense, less expensive doesn't necessarily mean bad, but it does feed into the idea of a car designed by a committee. In here, it feels so corporate. It probably came off the factory line with its own LLC paperwork in the glove box. But I still say this is a car you buy. It's good in some places. But while the RDX can be vanilla thunder, the operative word is still vanilla. It's the automotive equivalent of a bland, reputable citizen. There he is, strolling past his well-manicured lawn every Sunday morning, floating into his luxury crossover and pleated pants. He's in good standing with the Lord and ahead on his taxes. And he's armed with a smile that comes in one shade: priority boarding white. He's got a how's your day ready for everyone he sees, and a free hand to open a door for everyone, man, woman, or child. He's working on people beyond the binary. They make him pause, but then thought stop kicks in and he opens the door. But you can only take so much of a guy like this. There's a toxic, oppressive positivity about him. Like behind all this Minnesota nice is a man who just wants to play with knives. If this guy had his way, he would never put down the butterfly knife. He would turn into butterfly knife guy. Just all the time, menacing me, stopping every single conversation. He's butterfly knife guy. Are you ready to hold a thought in your head as you sit on the Market Frankfurt line? No, here comes butterfly knife guy. So should you buy a 2015 Acura RDX in 2026? Yes. Even though this car perpetuated the millennial gray style of the 20-teens. The expressive and useful J-Series V6 introduces and injects a lot of personality into a body and interior that's about as exciting as a credit union's waiting area. Handling? We're not going to really talk about it. It's an SUV. It just plows, it wanders about, but it's got torque and it's got power. Besides, millennial grays are the correct negative spaces for vinyl graphics. Get stupid. Put fat racing stripes down both sides of this RDX. Get an oversized VTEC sticker, but it's spelled VEETAK, semicolon, the number 3. How about a Too Soon Junior in Helvetica typeface? Rainbow furry stickers? Of course. Turn the soulless office park crawler into the vehicular equivalent of Jess. No, the other Jess from Payroll. Yeah, Tri-County ass Jess. Mashing those chest pillows on the Xerox. The horizontal beam of light disappearing under wobbling masses, undulating like a rubber raft filled with yoo-hoo. Look, I'm gay, but Jess Tri-County? Damn!